In this video, we are going to construct the monostable multivibrator using Multisim version 12 software. But in our colleges, we are using version 13. There are slight little bit changes over here. I will show while doing the circuit. So first, see the monostable multivibrator circuit, and first place all the components that are required for the for building this circuit. So you need a 555 timer. I will show this is a bit different different IC, that is not 555 timer virtual, or another one is there. Wait, I will show you. Go to place, go to components. Over here you need, if you go to all groups and if you type 555 timer, then it will show 555 timer rated and 555 timer virtual. Don't select these two versions. You need to this is a bit different 555 timer. So go to all groups. Over here you go to mixed, and over here you need to go to 555 timers, and over here you need to select this TLC 552C IC. This way, this 555, this IC you need to select for doing this monostable multivibrator. So go and place over the workspace. After that, if you go to the manual, next we need our resistor, capacitor, and then 1N4007 diode. So let us place those components. Go to basics, and here select a capacitor. Now let it be any value. After that you can change. Just you need to take all the components that required for building this circuit. After that you need a resistor. Go and place over the workspace. After that you need a 1N4007 diode. Go to diodes, and over here you type 1N4007. it will be like this. You can just type 1N4007, or you can scroll down to 1N4007 IC. 1N7 diode, not IC. Place it, and then we require ground. So go to sources, go to all families and type ground. Place it. After that you need a voltage, pulse voltage. This you will find over here. Go to sources. After that go to single voltage sources, and over there you will get here pulse voltage. Select that, place it. Then you need an oscilloscope. It will be over here, 1 2 3 4th one, or else you can just keep the cursor over the device. It will show the name. Place it over here. Now start building the circuit. First, see the pin number 1 output OLT is connected to the positive terminal of the oscilloscope. Connect it to the positive terminal of the oscilloscope. After that, this pin number 7 is connected to the ground. So connect it to the ground. After that, connect this negative terminal of the oscilloscope to the ground. Now connect the negative terminal to the ground. This part is over. Now you need to connect the, now in between this ground and CON terminal, you need to connect a 0.01 microfarad capacitor. So go select this capacitor and bring it over here. Change the value to 0.01 microfarad. Double tap on the capacitor and it will open the window, capacitor window, or value. You need to change to 0.01. Click OK. If it is not in the microfarad, then you can change over here using this arrow key, or else you can just type the small u symbol which represents the micro, and click OK. Connect in between the terminal 3 and 7. After that, you need to short circuit this DIS and THR terminals. Go and short circuit over them. After that, you need to short circuit this pin number RST to the plus VCC. Do it also. Then for VCC, you need to keep in mind that you are connecting the positive terminal of the plus 5 volts and the negative terminal is connected to the ground. Now I have not taken the voltage source, so go to the place, components, and over here go to sources and go to power sources. Here go to DC power and click OK. If at initial it will be showing you at the negative terminal end like this, its orientation is bit different, so you need to rotate it to the 90 degree clockwise, and again. So now the positive terminal is facing downwards, so connect this positive terminal to the plus VCC and the negative terminal to the ground. You just copy it from here, copy the ground and paste it over here. Now after this, you need to keep a 9.1 kilo ohm resistor over the pin that we have shorted and the plus VCC. So rotate this resistor to 90 degree and place it over here. Make the connections. And in parallel with this capacitor, you are having this diode 1N4007. You need to rotate. You need to keep in mind that the negative terminal is connected to the plus VCC and the positive terminal is connected to the 1 TRL. Rotate this. Place it in parallel with the resistor. Oh, I did a bit mistake. You need to connect the pin number 6 terminal to the diode positive terminal. Like over here, it's not showing in this observation book. They are not showing the pin numbers, but I am saying you can see over here 1 TRL is connected to the negative terminal of the diode. Okay, now in parallel with this diode, you need to connect the 1 kilo ohm resistor. So just copy this 1K resistor and copy and paste it over here. This resistor value is 9.1 kilo ohm and 0.5% tolerance, that we have not changed it. So just double click on the resistor, then it will open. Resistor value is 9.1K. So just type 9.1K, 9.1 and 0.5% tolerance, 0.5% tolerance. And this resistance value is 1 kilo ohm and 0.5% tolerance. 1 kilo ohm and 0.5% tolerance. Connect it in parallel with the diode. In between the pulse voltage generator and this resistor, you are having a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. So just copy this capacitor and place it over here. Paste, not place. Change the capacitor value to 0.1 microfarad. And now this voltage, pulse voltage terminal, you need to connect it to the ground. Copy the ground and paste over here. And then now you need to connect the channel B terminal to the capacitor, capacitor terminal over here. So go and place. We have not yet placed the capacitor in between this ground and R1 resistor. You can see over here the capacitor is placed in between this 9.1 kilo ohm resistor and the ground. So now copy this capacitor, paste it, rotate the capacitor, and this capacitor value is 0.1 microfarad. So change the value, connect in between this resistor and the ground. Now do connection for the ground, copy the ground, copy the ground and paste it. Now connect that channel B's positive terminal to the capacitor over here and negative terminal to the ground. You can just connect it to the negative terminal of the channel A. C2. Oh, now this voltage is 5 volts. Double click on the voltage source and change it to the 5 volts. And you once check all the values are correct. This pulse voltage you need to change this from -5 to +5. Initial value from -5 to +5. After doing all the connections, now to check the output, you can go to observation book and you can see over here. Now they have asked two types of output, that is the output of the 555 timer with respect to the input trigger pulse, and the output of the 555 timer with respect to the charging and discharging of the capacitor. So now this oscilloscope shows the output of the 555 timer and the charging and discharging of the capacitor. You can see over there the channel B is connected to the positive terminal, means the one terminal of the capacitor, which calculates the charging and discharging, which shows the charging and discharging, and the channel A connected to the output of the 555 timer. And you need to keep another oscilloscope so that we can calculate the means we can show the pulse, input pulse, that input trigger pulse that spikes, and the output of the 555 timer. So connect the channel 1 to the pin number 5, or else just connect it directly to the channel A of the oscilloscope number 1. And this channel B, now you need to connect this channel B's positive terminal to the over here, and the negative terminal to the channel says negative terminal. I have done all the connections. I will show it over here, the same circuit. Now the small change that I have made here is that I have changed the pulse width and time period of the pulse voltage source, because since this is multi-sim version 12, in this some maybe due to some instrumental configuration or some changes over the instrumental values, the output will not come as usual. So I have changed those two values, only those two. But in multisim version 13, that is used in our labs, over there you will get the actual correct value by using this 0.5 milliseconds and 1 millisecond time period. No need to worry about this. Just to show the output, we have changed this. Now open the oscilloscope. Now play the run button. you can see that in this oscilloscope you are able to see the capacitor charging and discharging, and the pulse output of the 555 timer. And in this you can see the input trigger pulse and the output of the 555 timer. Now to adjust this time per division and channel says voltage per division and channel B voltage per division, go to observation B book. Over here, see the time per division they have kept is 1 milliseconds per division. So keep 1 milliseconds per division. If it is not in 1 milliseconds per division, you need to change. If it is in 500 millivolts per microseconds per division, then you need to keep it to 1 milliseconds per division, like this. And this also they have kept 2 volts per division, so just change the value to 2 volts, like that you need to change. And y bar T and position, AC single and falling edge, and they have selected the A. So YT AC single falling edge and select it. Like similarly you need to configure these time per division and channel A's positions. So go over here, time per division they have kept 500 microseconds per division, so keep to 500. And scaling 10 volts per division and 10 volts per division, so keep 10 volts. I have just changed it to 5 volts because it is easier to see and visualize the voltage and all, so I have just kept it to 5 volts per division. It doesn't matter whatever value you need, you give, so that you can see the output correctly. And select DC and single, DC and single, and rising edge and B. Here they have selected rising edge and they selected the B, so you select the rising edge and B. Now the most important part of the video is that now you need to calculate the amplitude duty cycle and 1/3 times of VCC and 2/3 times of VCC. Now you can see that 2 tracers over here, they have been provided the blue color and yellow color. They are pointed to this point, that this point represents the voltage where it is pointing. So you can see that tracer 2 is pointing over here. This is a trace 2. This is showing to the minus 2.929 volts. From with respect to this 0 line, it is showing minus 2 volts, and this tracer 1 is showing to the it's been pointing to the T on period, that is over here. So it is showing to the 2.071 volts. This T2 minus T1 shows the actual voltage, what is the perfect voltage in between these 2 points. So you keep this tracer 1 over here and tracer 2 over here. So the positive peak voltage minus this gives the total voltage, that means the amplitude. So 2.71 minus 2.979 minus 2.071 minus 2.9 will give you the 5 volts. Therefore the output, the amplitude of the 555 timer that we are getting is 5 volts peak to peak. After that, now we need to calculate the duty cycle. Duty cycle means T on by total time. T on means this much, from here to here, divided by total time. Total time is from here to here. So to calculate the T on, just take the value over here and place it at the peak, last end of this falling edge of the output of the 555 timer. If you are not able to place it correctly, just use these arrow keys. It has been in the last of this pulse. After that, place this also. If you observe correctly, if you place correctly, the color of this line changes to green. From yellow to it will change to green, like that. This blue color also it will change to blue, white. You can see this. Now it's showing blue. Now if you just go back, then it will show white color. this distance is the T on distance. So you can see T2 T2 minus T1 is 984.848 microseconds. Since because why it is showing negative, because T2 is larger. So this is the time. You can just shift the timer 1 and 2 to the different locations. Now you can see the positive, it is showing positive 984.848 microseconds. This is the T on period. After that, to calculate the total time, you shift this 2 to this position over here. Therefore, this is the total time period. Total time period is 1.705 milliseconds. So T on by T off, you calculate the T on by T off, which gives the duty cycle, this one. After that, now we need to calculate the 1 by 3 times of VCC and 2 by 3 times of VCC. 1 by 3 times of VCC is the this position, that is the channels B's output across the capacitor. So 1 by 3 of since now the tracers are moving on the channel 1's output, you need to change to the channel 2's output. So right click on the oscilloscope and select a trace and select the channel B and click OK. Now you can see that these points are shifted to the channel B. If you observe these points, it is moving on the channel B. You can see it's slowly rising and moving along with the channel B's output, that is across the capacitor. Now since this is 1 by 3 times of VCC, keep the value to over here, channel 2. This represents the 1 by 3 times of VCC hold. So go to the tracer 2 and go over here. You can see minus 1.154 volts. This is the 1 by 2 channel B. So this is the 1 by 3 times of VCC value, that is you can see over here. Both I have kept on the same line, so it's showing the same value. 1.154 volts is the 1 by 3 times of VCC's value, and this peak value is 2 by 3 times of VCC. Just take any one of the tracer and place it on the peak value. Now you can see the tracer 2, it's showing 2.156 volts. This is the 2 by 3 times of VCC value. Therefore now we have calculated all the results. This was the monostable multivibrator using Multisim version 12. Thank you.